You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, Joplin schools unveil proposed safety upgrades for elementary campuses.
Also, Southeast Kansas nonprofits get double the donations this week through a special matching program.
And we're going to see mostly cloudy skies start to build in today, but it is going to be on the warmer side. Check your forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Donald O'Keefe. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. Good morning.
Good morning and happy Thursday. So the work week is just flying by, it feels like.
Oh, definitely. I can't believe it's Thursday already. Tomorrow is Friday. We're looking forward to it. The weather's been so beautiful. People have seen the aurora borealis over the last couple of days. It's just been a wonderful week.
Yes, and we're celebrating some of the great things happening in the 4 states. And luckily, some of the most successful competitive dancers in the entire country live right here in Joplin. KOAM sports reporter Ben McLeish has the story on the Putnick sisters.
Inside Ovation Studios in Carthage, you'll find 2 sisters who move like mirrors of one another. They spend hours each day in this room, sharpening every step, every turn, driven by something more than just talent.
I started dancing when I was 3 years old.
Honestly, my mom just signed me up. She said, "Oh, your friend's taking dance, and I think this would be something fun for you to do."
But that simple sign-up turned into something extraordinary. Today, 15-year-old Yesfi and 11-year-old Arika Putnick are among the most successful competitive dancers in the region, winning titles across the country and representing the United States on the international stage.
When I got wrapped with the United States flag at the Continental Cup, it was such a great feeling.
And their success is no accident. Behind every performance are long nights, late homework, and a lot of sacrifice.
The next day, sometimes I've woken up at like 5 a.m., 4 a.m. I think the earliest I've woken up to do some schoolwork is like 3 a.m. and then gone to school the next day and done it all over again.
Even at that pace, they rarely take a break.
Instead of sitting down or instead of taking that break, we push through the pain.
And it shows.
They are some of the hardest working dancers that I've ever had the privilege of working with.
In the studio, they're dedicated athletes. On stage, they're storytellers.
You're required to have all the athleticism of any athlete, and in many cases more. On top of that, also have to have artistry and be able to have emotion and connection with an audience and be able to perform on stage and just really bring that dynamic to life.
And for these 2, the connection runs deeper than any choreography.
We've done a duet for 5 years now, and every time we've always just connected really well on stage. Honestly, we fight a lot. We have that siblings arguments and stuff, but that makes us grow stronger on stage.
We never knock.
Sibling rivalry? Sure, but also a partnership built on trust, talent, and love.
Yes, we are sisters, we fight, but when you see that like each other has different strengths and you can help each other with that, it's always so helpful to have someone older than me who I can really rely on and tell her everything.
And through every performance, trophy, and late night at the studio, the Putnick sisters continue to prove that hard work and heart go hand in hand.
I would rather go on to a dance competition and be someone else's biggest motivator than win a national champion title, whatever. There's a million dancers in the world, and to know that someone watches me dance and to know someone cares, even one singular person, that means the world to me.
From the floor of Ovation Studios to stages around the country, they dance not just to compete, but to inspire. Ben McLeish, KOAM Sports.
The sisters' incredible journey is far from over. Later this month, they'll join Team USA in Italy and Belgium for the IDO World Championships.
It's amazing to see those dancers. I'm not much of a dancer myself, but honestly, Mother Nature's been dancing around quite a bit over the last couple of weeks. We've had some cold spells, we've had some now warmer spells, the aurora borealis, and we're having another cold kind of ish coming in later this week. But right now, let's take a look at downtown Pittsburgh. Like I was saying, Mother Nature's been kind of dancing around, just like the two sisters there. We're seeing some nice temperatures today and through the weekend, but right now, this nice sunny skies this morning, nice beautiful colors. There is going to be some clouds that are going to start to build in, as you can see right here at 7th and Range Line. They'll make their way in through this morning, but then they'll start to dissipate later on today, but I'll get to that in a minute. Range Line I-44 for our MoDOT cam. Nice sunrise going right there. People are starting to get out, get their morning coffee, and they're going to need it for the temperatures, but right now our fog tracker looks pretty good across most of the area. Miami, we do have a little patch. You guys just have a little over 8 miles of visibility, and up there in Nevada and Stockton, a little under 7.5 miles of visibility. So driving conditions in those areas, definitely be careful if you're driving through those towns. So our temperatures right now, like I said, on the cooler side, we're seeing upper 30s to almost 49 degrees in Joplin and Carthage. So we're definitely starting to warm up. Things are starting to warm up. You're still going to need a jacket, though, through the morning, though. Our future track today at noon, cloudy skies, like I was saying. The nice south winds are going to be bringing in that warmer air. Clouds are going to start to dissipate through the afternoon, partly cloudy skies. Nice and warm by the time we get to the early parts of our evening at 6 o'clock. It's going to be a pretty nice day by the time we get to the evening. But planning your school day, 45 degrees out the door, 72 degrees at lunch and recess, and 73 degrees as you're heading home. And 73 degrees is going to be our high today, despite it being mostly cloudy skies before we get to partly cloudy skies by the evening. And we're going to see wind gusts, winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, gusting up to 20. But I'll have a look at your full forecast coming up.
Donald, thanks. The Joplin School District approves plans for the next phase of building improvements, and they're focused on safety. Phase 1 of the improvements addressed upgrades to educational spaces considered to be a high priority. Now the district's long-range planning committee is unveiling Phase 2 of the project. It includes upgrades to safety and security at a number of Joplin elementary schools. It would be paid for by a $10 million in the district's reserve fund, as well as a bond issue that would maintain the current tax rate. The spirit of giving is alive and well in Southeast Kansas. 48 nonprofit organizations in the area are participating in Match Week, meaning donations to a good cause could be even greater. KWM's Mitch Adams gives us the story.
Match Week is in full swing in Southeast Kansas, with donations flowing in to support nonprofit organizations. The Community Foundation of Southeast Kansas is offering matching donations to help build sustainability for the nonprofits.
And the Community Foundation is proud to have over $100,000 in matching funds to amplify donations that come in from the community. So more money that helps support our local nonprofits and the work that they do day in and day out to better our community.
One benefactor of donations this week consists of the Miners Hall Museum, Franklin Community Park, and Dragline Park, which are all managed by one entity. Phyllis Bittner, the chair of the Miners Hall Museum Foundation, says that the Match Week helps grow funding that may need to be utilized by future board members.
We know that all of us won't be here, say 10 or 15 years from now, and we want the facilities to continue to be able to be maintained. So through the endowment funds, that's how that will happen.
The efforts from area foundations and the generosity of donors is meant to pave a way for organizations to increase their longevity and be an active part of the community.
Needs in our community, donors are helping support that effort, and we're an avenue to help them do that. And it's really humbling to see the support that our community has for all these organizations and the work that they do.
Reporting in Southeast Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
According to Executive Director Devin Gorman, the foundation is approaching $2 million. That's been given to support nonprofits in the area in the last 10 years. MSSU discussed the business of art as the school held the Nanette Philibert Business of Art Symposium. The event brought together artists, entrepreneurs, and business leaders to share insight into the business side of creative careers. The symposium aimed to help local artists turn their passion into a profession, with discussions on marketing, networking, and sustainability in the arts.
There's a business side to artwork that is much broader than is usually available in college because it's harder to teach it. So there's usually kind of a gap between college and then real application of your knowledge to selling the artwork that you produce. Or
Gadwell hopes to inspire young artists to see their talent as both passion and a viable career. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, we have the Joplin Police Department in the studio to offer some holiday safety tips. Well, welcome back. I'm joined here with Joplin Police Department's Captain Austin Wolf. He's here to offer us a little bit of safety tips for the holiday season. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
So, safety during a holiday season, what are some things people maybe should keep in mind?
So when we talk about tips for safety over the holiday season, we look at a lot of different areas. We look at, home safety, traveling safety, but the biggest number one thing that we're telling folks always is have a plan. And when we look at homes and we look at leaving our homes to go travel over the holiday season, there's a few safety tips that we can talk about. One of the biggest ones is make the illusion that somebody's home, that it's normal day-to-day business. And by doing that, if you're able to leave a light on or a vehicle in the driveway, just to show that, hey, there's some activity at the house. One of the other things is if you have a trusted neighbor or friend that is in the neighborhood, ask them to pick up your mail and your packages while you're gone, because a buildup of packages can indicate that there's not a lot of activity at the residence, and it could be a potential theft situation. And if you don't have that trusted neighbor or friend, you might try giving your local law enforcement a call and see if they can't do house checks or directed patrols at your residence just during the time that you're gone.
Yeah.
And so one of the other things is what we're really stressing in the world of the internet these days is whenever you're gone on vacation, try to hold that social media post for just a little bit until you arrive back home. Everybody wants to share great experiences, but whenever you're away from the residence and you're posting that you're at the beach or you're at grandma's house states away, that goes on the internet and gives somebody the idea that somebody may not be home.
Mm. Yeah, and then, during the holiday season, a lot of people are also traveling. They're leaving home. You gave some tips on how to make it look like you're still at home, but are there any tips for, as they're doing that travel?
Traveling in the Midwest in November and December, what could happen, right?
Yes.
So one of the biggest things, again, is have a plan. And when you're traveling in this part of the country, weather has to be part of that plan. And so have that trusted internet site or trusted source for weather before you leave. Look at the extended forecast. What are you getting yourself into before you get on the roadways? And continue to look at it. And then have something like, I know the Department of Motor Vehicles in Missouri has an excellent website to show road conditions. So take a look at that before traveling to see if it's snow covered or ice covered. The other thing about having a plan while traveling is make sure you've got an emergency kit in the car. Have that cell phone charged up, have blankets, and have extra emergency supplies in case you find yourself on the side of the road for any amount of time whatsoever.
Perfect. Well, I know safety is always so important to keep in mind, all the time, but especially during the holiday season, because nothing's going to put a damper more on your celebrations than something bad happen and not being prepared for it.
Absolutely right.
Well, thank you so much, Captain Wolf, for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
It's a beautiful start to our morning. You can see the sun is coming up. There's beautiful colors. And if you guys didn't get a chance to see the Aurora Borealis last night and the night before, it is done for tonight, but there is pictures on any of our social media that you can check out. But it was a very beautiful Aurora Borealis that we had over the last couple of days. Taking a look at 7th and Rangeline, you can see, like I said, there is going to be some clouds that are going to start building in this morning that will linger around into the early parts of our afternoon. But overall, it's not too bad of a morning as you're waking up, getting out the door, to get your morning routine going, getting that morning coffee. You definitely need something a little bit warm to drink this morning because it is on the cooler side before these temperatures will eventually start to increase through the morning. Let's take a look at our fog tracker right now. Most of the area looks pretty good for fog. We do have some fog, a patchy bit of fog in Miami, about 8 miles of visibility, so if you're driving through there, just be careful. It could increase or decrease at any moment. Also up in Nevada and Stockton, just a little under 7.5 miles of visibility. So like I said, if you're driving through those areas, just be safe because fog can be extremely dangerous. It can really decrease and increase visibility very quickly, but everywhere else looks really good at this moment as you're getting out the door. Now let's take a look at our regional temperatures and why it's going to be so warm today and warm through the weekend. We're seeing a nice flow of southerly warm winds come up through our area that are pretty much dominating most of the south for us. So that's going to linger around through the weekend and bring in some really above average temperatures for this time of the year. It is November. Don't forget about about that. But right now, for our future track, today at noon, there's those clouds I was talking about that will be building in through the morning. And as we progress through the afternoon, we're going to see those clouds start to dissipate. And by about 4 o'clock, partly cloudy skies, and we're going to see more sun, and it's going to be on the warmer side as well with those nice southerly warm winds. It's going to be on the slightly breezier side, not too bad today. We can see gusts up to 20 miles an hour, but overall, it's going to be a pretty nice day. Pushing through Thursday night, partly cloudy skies. There might be some lingering clouds through the morning and into Friday morning. Through the evening into Friday morning. So 5 a.m. tomorrow, nice southerly warm winds, clear skies. And by the time we get to about the early parts of the morning, there's just going to be some patchy clouds out there. But overall, it's going to be a pretty nice day by the time we get to noon. But the winds are going to be picking up. And the winds are actually going to be a little bit stronger tomorrow than they are today. But it's overall for our Friday going to be a pretty nice day. And as we progress through the afternoon, still some spotty clouds out there, but not too bad. 6 p.m. It's going to be a pretty nice day for our Friday as well. But our temperatures right now on the cooler side. We're definitely above freezing, but still you're going to need a jacket as you're getting out the door. We're seeing upper 30s to upper 40s across the area. It's 49 in Joplin and 50 in Carthage. Stockton at 43. Nevada, you guys are at 42 degrees. So still cool outside. Get those jackets on, but you probably won't need to have those jackets on for long. I'll get to that in a minute. So right now our current conditions, 49 degrees, sunny skies, but like I said, those clouds are going to start building in through the morning. Like I said, that jacket will eventually start to come off. 50 degrees at 8 a.m., mostly cloudy skies through the morning, getting up to 68 degrees by 11 a.m. That's when I said you could probably take that jacket off. And it'll start to feel pretty good for our day. 72 degrees at noon, warming up to 73 degrees for a high between the hours of 2 and 4, with mostly cloudy skies. And there's that wind I was talking about, gusting up to 20. But it's going to be an overall pretty good day and a nice night as well. We're going to see temperatures drop down to 58 degrees tonight. So a pretty nice day and a pretty nice evening as well. Okay, let's take a look at our 10 days. 73 degrees today, 75 for Friday, 77 for Saturday. And there's a chance that we could actually break a record. 77 ties the record for that day. If it gets to 78 degrees, that'll break the record that's been held there since 1960. Then we start to cool down a little bit on Sunday, and a front will push in on Monday, cooling things back down into the 50s and possibly bringing those rain chances back later next week. But let's not take for granted this beautiful weather that we're going to have through the weekend before it really starts to cool down, and those rain chances will start to increase by about Monday through Wednesday. That's a look at your forecast. More news and weather coming up after the break.
Well, welcome back. I'm joined this morning with Neely Myers, here to tell us about the upcoming Bold Woman Summit.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
I'm so glad to be here.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about what the Bold Woman Summit is?
So it is actually the inaugural year of the Women's Summit, and this was a brainchild of Lauren Hall from the Joplin Chamber of Commerce. It's something she's wanted to do for years. And about a year ago, I mean, she's been thinking about it for years, but about a year ago, we were talking about it, a group of women at a table, and we just kind of said, how can we help? What can we do? And here we are a year later, and it's next Tuesday. It's coming up next Tuesday. I can't believe it. It's here. It's time. Yes. So we've spent the last year putting together the breakouts, the keynotes, and we have some exciting stuff coming up.
Amazing. Can you tell me, what is the Bold Woman Summit? What are they hoping to address? What are the topics they're hoping to discuss?
Yes, we have some really exciting keynotes, but some of the breakouts, we want to kind of hit all of the things, personal and professional. So we've got self-care, financial freedom, how to handle conflict. I mean, nobody likes conflict, but it's going to happen in life and in business. And so we need to know how to handle it. But microaggressions and unconscious bias in the workplace, leadership, legacy, we're going to hit all of those things in our breakout sessions. And then we've got some great keynotes, regionally known speakers and nationally known speakers, Mo Holloman, Alyssa Owsley, Rachel Oblon, Candace Rather, and they've got some great stuff around emotional intelligence, main character energy. Who doesn't want to be the main character in their own story, right? So really exciting stuff coming up.
It sounds like some great topics. Why hold a summit like this? Why did you feel like this was such an important thing to hold?
Well, I think no matter where you are in your life or your career, whether it's at the beginning of your career, the middle of your career, whether you're getting close to retirement, it's so important to revisit the idea of being bold, of being fearless, of what it is that you're going to leave behind in your career if you're near the end of your career, the legacy. But not only that, it's about making the connections with the other women in the region and building on that for your own success. I mean, it's about building yourself up, but it's about building each other up too. And so that's why I think it's so important that we spend a day together learning how to lead boldly and to change the world. I mean, really, honestly, we've come a long way. We've got a long way to go.
So who is this summit for? Who's really, the intended audience for this?
Yeah, it really is going to be, as I said, for anyone, whether you're starting out in your career, whether you're in the middle of your career, because there's going to be something for everyone. So those of us that, I'm not at the end of my career, I've got some years to go, but I can mentor some people along the way. One of the really cool things that we did for this summit this year was you could purchase a ticket for someone maybe in the early stages of their career for whom the finances might not be there, or that you just wanted to mentor along the way. So I purchased a ticket for my assistant to join me at the summit. And so that's my opportunity to feed into her and to mentor some of those younger people that might be in earlier days of their careers. But also, I've still got career to go. I've still got a lot to learn. So really, it's for anyone. It's for, like I said, just starting out in your career, those of us that have something to share. And there's some retired people that are registered, because you're never too far in your life to learn something and to give back.
Well, are there still going to be tickets available for those who may be interested?
Unfortunately, it is sold out because it is Tuesday. However, there is a waiting list. So if you want to get on that waiting list, you can contact the Chamber in Joplin to get on that waiting list. Yeah.
Well, perfect. You said it's on Tuesday, when and what time?
So it starts at 7:30 on Tuesday morning and goes until 4 o'clock, but there's also a business after hours. Megan Long, her insurance agency, is hosting a business after hours because we want to keep that party going and keep it social afterwards, too.
Perfect. Is there any place somebody should go to learn more information, or see, if there's a future summit that they can attend?
Oh, absolutely. This is definitely something, there's no way we're not going to do this again. It's been too well received in the community, obviously, and in the region. So I think you can see up on your screen on Facebook where the Bold Women's Summit is. And then, we're just going to keep building those networks. We've got a page where we're just going to keep building those relationships. So find more information there. Make sure to like the page, because that way when the tickets are available for next year, you can get on that list early.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Neely.
Happy to be here.
We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:31. I'm Samantha Walker. After 43 days, the longest shutdown in government history is officially over. The House voted last night to pass a continuing resolution funding bill, which will reopen the government. President Trump signed it just last night. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen reports.
The House officially passing a spending bill to reopen the government after 6 weeks of shutdown.
On this vote, the yeas are 222, the nays are 209. The bill is passed.
While there's certainly relief on Capitol Hill that government funding is being restored and federal workers will be paid again, the deal is landing with a thud, with many Democratic House members who say party leaders didn't secure their primary demand that sparked the shutdown in the first place: the extension of ACA subsidies.
I think people understand what a betrayal this is, to not be able to go back with a victory. We've spent 43 days in a total stalemate for nothing.
Democrats Wednesday introduced a discharge petition to try to force a vote in the coming weeks to extend subsidies for another 3 years. Some Republicans have suggested they'd be open to a 1-year extension.
We're probably going to have to extend some of the subsidies temporarily to see if we can't get some of those premiums down.
Meanwhile, House Republicans say they'll introduce a bill next week to remove a last-minute provision added by the Senate that would allow senators to sue the government for obtaining their phone records during special counsel Jack Smith's investigation.
A health budget nightmare for America's families and a slush fund lottery win for 8 Republican senators.
I found out about it last night. I was surprised, I was shocked by it, and I was angry about it.
The bill funds the government through January 30th. Some in Washington fear they could be having the same fight in a couple of months. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Several House members expressed concern and fought against a provision in that bill that would prohibit the sale of certain hemp products. Emma McDarris spoke with one of Missouri congressmen and CBD store owners about the impact that it will have on their business.
Members on both sides of the aisle have issues with some of the language in a provision around hemp. The provision would eliminate the loophole in the 2018 Farm Bill, which defined hemp as excluded from the federal definition of marijuana, and legalize the farming and selling of hemp. The main argument for the provision is to stop bad actors from selling unsafe THC products.
The 2018 Farm Bill that allowed hemp to open up, which actually at one time in the 1800s was the largest cash crop in Missouri. There are people who are doing it the right way. Unfortunately, bad actors got involved in this process and kind of ruined it for just about everyone.
If passed, it would prohibit the selling of hemp products with more than 0.4 milligrams of THC.
I will vote for it. I have some very good friends who are hemp growers in our district in Cass County, and they're doing things with it like making building materials and rope and other clothing accessories. This will not affect them.
However, owners of CBD stores like Brian Oliver in Springfield say this would hurt business.
Oh, we're done. We'll close up shop for sure.
Oliver says he and other owners in the state oppose the prohibition and are encouraging regulation instead.
So we have lab work on all of our product. We're not required in this industry, and that's what we've been fighting for 3 years in Missouri, is regulation. Common sense regulation. We've been 21 plus since we opened. It's, we can sell to 18 plus. We choose not to.
Now here's Donald with a look at your forecast.
It's a decent start to our morning. Taking a look at downtown Pittsburgh, the sun is coming up. The clouds are starting to build in this morning. As you can see, 7th and range line, those clouds are starting to push in. Now we'll continue through the rest of our morning into the afternoon time as well. Range line I-44 from our MoDOT cams. People are starting to get out, do their morning routines, starting to drive to work. And if you're out driving, there is a bit of fog right now in Nevada and Stockton. You guys are just a little over 7 miles of visibility. So if you're driving through that area, just make sure you're driving careful because fog can dissipate and appear very quickly. But the rest of the area looks pretty good if you're out driving to work. Our temperatures are not too bad either. That's why I said decent, because we're seeing temperatures in the upper 30s to just below 50 degrees there in Joplin, 49, 39 in Pittsburgh. So definitely a wide range of temperatures across the area. So you're definitely going to need a jacket as you're getting out the door, but that jacket will eventually come off by the time we reach the afternoon. Our future track for today, you can see cloudy skies by noon today, nice southerly warm winds. Those clouds will start to dissipate by the time we reach that 4 o'clock hour. Still partly cloudy skies on the warmer side, and then we get to about 6 o'clock, and it'll be that nice evening. We'll have a nice evening ahead of us. So planning our school day here, 45 degrees out the door, 72 degrees lunch and recess, 73 degrees as you're heading home, with clouds pretty much most of the day until we get to the afternoon. But our 73 degree high is going to be about that 2 to 3 o'clock hour, even though it's going to be mostly cloudy skies. And also we're going to have a little bit of wind today, 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the south, with gusts up to 20 miles an hour. But I'll have a look at your full forecast coming up.
Thanks, Donald. An investigation into the cause of a house fire turns into a criminal investigation. Authorities responded to reports of a house fire Tuesday night in a 3100 block of North Illinois of Carl Junction. Witnesses say a man ran from the area when the fire appeared. No occupants or responders were injured. The Missouri State Fire Marshal's office will assist in the investigation, which the Carl Junction Fire Chief confirms is an active criminal investigation. 2 men survived a small plane crash without injuries in Chesterfield, Missouri Tuesday. The plane was returning to the Spirit of St. Louis Airport when it crashed. The pilot deployed a parachute, which investigators say helped glide the plane into the tree line. A Chesterfield City Councilwoman said the fact that the men got up and walked away from the crash is a, quote, miracle. Well, later, the internet lights up with some amazing photos of the Aurora Borealis, including right here in our area. In Consumer Watch, after more than 2 centuries in circulation, the Mint in Philadelphia pressed its final 1-cent coin. The penny is now discontinued, but it's not yet out of circulation. Fox News national correspondent Griff Jenkins has more from Washington.
Today we retire the penny.
The end of an era. After more than 200 years in production, the penny is no more.
The last time we've discontinued a coin was the half cent, and that was in 1857. 168 years ago. So everyone sitting in this room, we are experiencing history today.
U.S. Treasurer Brandon Beach pressed the final copper-plated coin Wednesday after President Trump called for its cancellation nearly a year ago. The president, writing online, quote, For far too long, the United States has minted pennies which literally cost us more than 2 cents. This is so wasteful.
It's a great day. I mean, we're saving the taxpayers $56 million a year.
The Trump administration claims the penny is just too costly to make. It cost the mint nearly 4 cents to produce every penny. For comparison, nickels also cost more to produce than they're worth, but that isn't the case for dimes or quarters.
By taking this step, we protect taxpayer dollars, streamline operations, and better align our currency with the way Americans use their modern wallets.
The administration also points out cashless transactions have changed how Americans use currency. But critics say businesses may be forced to round prices down to avoid shortchanging people. It could also cause rationing of supplies, a concern the treasurer dismissed.
Let me be crystal clear. The penny remains legal tender. We have over 300 billion pennies that remain in circulation, and we encourage you to use them.
According to the Mint, the last pennies ever pressed will not go into circulation. Instead, they'll be auctioned off at a later date. In Washington, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
That's it for Consumer Watch, and now here's Donald with a look at your forecast. After the break.
It's a decent start to our morning. Take a look at downtown Pittsburgh. We can see the sun is up. There is some clouds that are going to start building in this morning, and it is on the cooler side, but things will warm up. And there's 7th range zone. You can see the clouds, like I said, are going to start building in through the morning. You're going to need a jacket this morning, but eventually you can probably take it off after about noon or so. Range line I-44 for the MODOT camera. Like I said, people are starting to get out the door, do their morning routines, get that morning coffee. But if you're out driving to work at this moment, and most of the area looks pretty good, but there is a patch of fog that in Nevada and Stockton that's just under 7 miles of visibility. So if you're driving through that area, just be careful because there is that fog, and the visibility, it looks like it is decreasing in that area. Hopefully it will lift as the sun starts to rise and we start to warm up a bit. All right, taking a look at our regional temperatures and why it's been so warm and why it's going to continue to be warm through the rest of this week. So we're seeing some nice southerly winds coming into our area. That's going to dominate through Saturday, and it's going to feel definitely above average for temperatures this time in November. Don't forget, it is November, but it doesn't feel like November right now. Take a look at our future track for today. At noon, we are going to see those clouds. Like I said, they're going to build through the morning. There's those southerly winds, and then as we progress through the afternoon, clouds are going to start to dissipate. There's still going to be some lingering clouds, though, partly cloudy conditions by about the 4 o'clock hour. There is going to be some strong-ish gusts today. It's going to be on the slightly windier side, probably gusting up to about 20 miles an hour, but overall it's going to be a pretty nice day. And as you progress through Thursday evening into Friday morning, nice Friday morning as we see at 5 a.m., nice southerly winds. It's going to be a pretty decent morning as you're waking up, and Friday is going to be pretty good. It's going to actually be warmer than today. As we progress through Friday morning, just some spotty clouds. You can see by noon, there's those southerly winds again, bringing in that nice warm air. But tomorrow is going to be a little bit breezier than it is today because that's just because we've had such a change in temperatures over the last week or so. But our Friday looks pretty good. You can see at 6 p.m. for the evening, those winds start to calm down, partly cloudy skies, and it's going to be nice and warm for us. So our temperatures currently at this moment, a wide range of temperatures, upper 30s to the upper 40s, 49 in Joplin, 39 over in Sedan. So you're definitely going to need a coat, like I said, this morning, but you're not going to have to wear it too long. Our current conditions, 49, like I said, degrees. Sunny skies before those clouds start to build in, but that coat is going to start coming off by later this morning. 50 degrees at 8 a.m., mostly cloudy skies. We're going to get up to 68 degrees by 11 a.m., but our high today is going to be 73 degrees, and that's going to be about the 2 to 4 o'clock hours. Like I said, that jacket is going to come off, and it's going to feel really nice. They're a little bit on the windier side, but not too bad. And our evening doesn't look too bad as well. We're going to see a gradual cool down, 6 p.m., 68 degrees to, like I said, partly cloudy skies, 61 degrees at 10 p.m., dropping down to 58 degrees overnight, so it's going to be relatively comfortable. So taking a look at our 10-day, today, 73 degrees, partly or mostly cloudy skies until the afternoon. Tomorrow, 75 degrees on the breezier side, Saturday, 77 degrees. So that right now is going to tie the record that's been held since 1960. And if it can get past 77 to 78, that will break a record for that day in particular. And you can see on Sunday we drop down to 67. It'll still be nice and sunny, but a front does push in on Monday, cooling things back down into the 50s, and then rain chances pretty much the rest of next week. But let's not take for granted this beautiful weather that we're having right now. That's a look at your weather. More news and weather coming up after the break.
The magic-filled Now You See Me franchise returns with a third installment on the big screen this week. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Fox spoke with the stars about the new globe-trotting adventure, the magician's stage names, and the film that first amazed them with their movie magic. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
It is very good to be back.
The four horsemen team up with a new generation of illusionists for a global adventure in Now You See Me, Now You Don't, taking on a corrupt diamond heiress.
It's the most valuable jewel in history.
The stars have sharpened their magic skills and can even teach some too.
Isla and I were walking through this park in Budapest where we shot the newest movie, and from a distance we see this kid trying to throw cards, but he was very bad at it. And I taught him how to throw cards, and by the time I walked away, he was whipping those across the park.
Returning cast were excited to reunite.
If you've been there twice, someone thinks that you've done a good job. To be asked back is proof. It's like, okay, yeah, you made the grade, so go for it again.
They love bringing audiences unexpected twists.
Our characters are doing magic tricks throughout the movie, but the whole movie in and of itself is a magic trick.
It's certainly an enchanting world to be part of.
What would your magician's stage name be?
Sensational Sessa or something like
Oh,
that.
of course. And for me, eyes in the back of my head.
And I also want to talk movie magic. So what was the first movie you saw where you thought, how did they do that? That is movie magic.
Wow, great question. The first R-rated movie I saw was called Quick Change. Bill Murray was in it. And there was stuff in it that just shocked me deeply to my core because I'd never seen like an R-rated movie. They were robbing a bank in that movie, kind of similar to what we're doing in these movies.
Probably like the first Gladiator movie.
When I saw Jurassic Park in theaters,
that's a good one.
I remember watching Fight Club and being blown away.
Yes. Wizard of Oz was like one of the first movies I feel like ever to have so much magic in it, to do something so ahead of its time.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Now You See Me, Now You Don't is in theaters November 14th. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Certainly a great option for those who love magic and illusion. Well, now here's Donald with a quick look at your level weather.
And it's actually going to be a pretty nice, decent morning as we're waking up. We can see beautiful sunny skies, but clouds will start to build in. But it is going to be warm today, and that warm trend will continue through the weekend. I'll have another check your forecast coming up after the break.
This is your Wake Up Recap for November 13th, your top stories to start your day. An investigation into the cause of a house fire turns into a criminal investigation. Authorities responded to reports of a house fire Tuesday night in the 3100 block of North Illinois of Carl Junction. Witnesses say a man ran from the area when the fire appeared. No occupants or responders were injured. The Missouri State Fire Marshal's office will assist in the investigation, which the Carl Junction Fire Chief confirms is an active criminal investigation. 2 men survived a small plane crash without injuries in Chesterfield, Missouri Tuesday. The plane was returning to the Spirit of St. Louis Airport when it crashed. The pilot deployed a parachute, which investigators says helped glide the plane into a tree line. A Chesterfield City Councilwoman says that the fact the 2 men got up and walked away from the crash is, quote, a miracle. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
It's going to be a relatively nice day today, mostly cloudy, but on the warmer side, warming up to 73 degrees, winds out of the south at 5 to 10 miles an hour, gusting up to 20. So overall, a nice day, a little bit windy, but not too bad. For tonight, it's going to be relatively mild temperatures, 58 degrees for a low, partly cloudy skies. The winds will start to calm down as we get into the evening. And our 10-day forecast looks really nice through the weekend. We can see 75 degrees on Friday, getting up to 77 on Saturday. Very nice and warm. And then a front's going to come through on Monday, cooling things back down into the 50s and low 60s, and then rain chances will increase by the middle part of next week. But I really don't want to take for granted this beautiful weather that we're having to end our work week and into this weekend.
Well, something else that people didn't take for granted was the Northern Lights display that lit up the four-state sky this week. It was a stunning sight for those who did catch it. I know we didn't. These are images sent to us by viewers right here in the area. The technical term for this is an aurora, and it occurs as a result of a coronal mass ejection, which is a particle-charged blast of solar material that serves as a magnetic field in space. 2 CMEs were detected Tuesday night.
Forecasting geomagnetic storm activity for some time now, since last week, due to a very active location region on the sun in the form of sunspots that's been very complex and has been the source of these CMEs that have been flinging out in space.
NOAA says a third CME reached us, but it's slightly weaker. They'll continue to provide updates on its website, including any other possible CME events. Well, I mean, even the photos are just stunning.
They're amazing. I mean, I got some photos from Oklahoma as well, and it's amazing it got as far south as it did. I mean, we've been almost in peak solar activity over the last couple of years, and that's going to continue probably for the next year or two before the sun starts to calm down a bit. But I'm loving just how amazing the space weather has been. I mean, I can't get enough of it. I always try to go up and look at the night sky. I didn't get a chance for this one, but in the past I have. So thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.